Dumelang and welcome to this week's episode of Monday ReTsene with Pretoria Psychologists. My name is Sharon and this month we are in the month of love, so we are talking relationships. Now today I want to talk about something that's a little uncomfortable for most of us to admit, but it's a real part of most relationships and most people get to experience it despite our gender. I want to talk about insecurities. Now, we've all been told once or twice that, but you're too insecure, or but stop being insecure about this and that. A relationship is a one place where insecurity tends to reveal itself the most. Now, insecurity is defined as the lack of confidence in yourself and also having uncertainties or self-doubt in terms of where you stand. Now, we can be insecure about different things. It could be in terms of how we look, in terms of whether we believe if the other person loves us, or in our ability to do certain things. Now, what insecurities does in a relationship is that it can lead to jealousy, where we end up becoming jealous of our partners. It can also lead to a need for constant reassurance. When you feel insecure about a particular thing, you might depend so much on your partner to constantly reassure you on that particular thing because of the negative self-doubt that you have within yourself. Now, often insecurities stem from our negative thoughts about ourselves, and that could be as a result of our past experiences. We could have grown up in environments that have caused us to have negative beliefs about who we are as people. Maybe there could have also been words that were spoken to us when we were younger, or in previous relationships where we might have been experienced things like being cheated on, or anything, or unfaithfulness that caused you to have self-doubt. Now, in those instances, it becomes easy for you to transfer that same energy onto the person that you're with now, or for those childhood experiences to manifest themselves in a relationship with your partner or the loved one that you're sharing your life with. So it is quite important that we work through them so that they do not take away the joy of our relationship and stand in our way of growth with our partners. Now, one thing about insecurities is that, first of all, we need to be honest in terms of how we feel and to disclose the things that make us insecure. Now, I always say that it is very important that we communicate with our partners with honesty and vulnerability. Sometimes we tend to see vulnerability as a weakness, but it can actually be a strength because you are making the person you are with aware of how you feel about certain things and how they affect you. In that case, the person then becomes aware. They become aware that, okay, when it comes to body image or when it comes to me interacting with other people, this is how my partner feels. And in that way, you can communicate it to one another so that you both know where you stand in terms of that particular issue that makes you feel insecure. It is also important that in instances where there's issues that you feel insecure about, that you practice affirmations towards one another. So maybe as partners, if you know that maybe your spouse feels a certain way about their appearance, or they feel shameful because of maybe their weight or their complexion or whatever it could be, it would be good also to hear from a person that you love that the thing is not an issue for them, and to also affirm them when they're looking good, and to also help them build up their confidence. However, the responsibility of building yourself up does not necessarily lie on another person entirely. It is also our responsibility as individuals, as much as we're in relationships, to work on our own weaknesses and things that we do not feel confident about. Sometimes we become so deeply scarred by certain experiences that we've had that it becomes difficult for us to be functional and experience healthy relationship because of these insecurities. In those instances, it becomes very helpful to seek professional help from a psychologist or any other mental health care practitioner that can help you work through those difficulties. Because as long as we don't work through them, they will continue to manifest themselves in a relationship. And what that will happen is that it will open doors for other bad qualities to become present in the relationship, such as infidelity or avoiding one another or constant conflict because of lack of communication and not working through your problems together. So like I always say, there is no shame in seeking help. And some of the things that we experience are not always our fault, but they may come from the environments that we've been exposed to. So if you do have anything like that that is causing you to feel like that about yourself, I do encourage you to reach out and seek help. I also would like to just also affirm you that it is not an abnormal thing to feel insecure. Every now and then we all have our shortfalls that might make us feel a little less insignificant. The problem is when those things become now a constant mark on our lives that now then impair how we express ourselves to another person. So in order to grow together in your relationship, don't be ashamed to confess those insecurities to one another and to help your partner understand why you might feel a certain way about certain insecurities, but more than anything, to also work on those so that you can grow both as individuals and also as a couple. So I hope that this has helped you, and also remember, whenever you need help working through all your psychological problems, you can always reach out to us at Pretoria Psychologists so that you can get the assistance that you need. I hope that this will be a beautiful week for you, and yes, enjoy the love month. Thank you and see you next time.